Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to gloomy Northampton again. Lights are on, but there are people home. Well, I think there is here. Anyway, welcome to another album ranking, and today we are doing part 3 of the Steve Hillage story. So today we're going to concentrate on Steve Hillage's contribution to Gong. I know we've done a story on the Gong, every conceivable band that Gong was, but we're going to just concentrate on the albums that Steve Hillage done today. I've been really enjoyed listening to these 4 albums again. I think these are some of the best albums Gong ever made. So, they were, as we know, that Gong were put together by David Allen and Gilly Smith. Some interesting people through the band over the years. They've had, of course, Didier Malherbe, Pit Pyle, Mike Howlett, Pierre Moulin, who went on and put his little band together, Bill Laswell, Theo Travis, others, Bill Bruford has played, Dave Stewart. So they've had a few people come through the band. So let's just concentrate on them 4 albums that Steve Hillage did. He first joined the band in 1973, made 3 albums, then left, and then he come back in 2009 for the one-off album. So, coming in at number 4 is that album from 2009, 2032. And it was released on the 21st of September 2009. And it was David Allen on voice and guitar, Steve Hillage on guitar, Gilly Smith on voice and Space Whisperer, Miquette Giraldi on synthesizers, which is Steve Hillage's partner, of course, and they went on to form System 7, which we'll have a look at another one. Mike Howlett on the bass, Chris Taylor drums, Theo Travis on sax and flute, with a former member gone doing a little bit of sax and flute, Didier Malherbe, and violins were done by Yuji Kasusu, Elliot Mackerel, and Stephanie Petrick did some backing vocals. So the first track on this one, it's called The City of Self-Fascination. I really like this now. I didn't when I first heard it, but what I've been really listening to Steve Hillage's guitar work on this. He just makes his guitar sing. Absolutely brilliant. The drums on this by Chris Taylor are good as well. And of course you've got Gilly's little whispers in there, and yeah, it's a really strong track. Digital Girl. Now this is Gilly Smith at her finest of the whispering. The guitar work both from David and Steve on this is incredible. I listened to these all under the headphones for this, and just sat there with the headphones on in a very light, dark, not a darkened room, but I put a nice light on my bulb in the lounge, and I just couldn't get how good that sounded under the headphones. Excellent track. How to Stay Alive. The guitar effects are really good on this. Got a nice, wonderful bass line here from Mike. Really got in the groove. It's just a really, really good track. And you've still got Gilly Smith's wonderful voice effects on it. It's really good. Escape, Control, Delete. Very good track. Well put together. It's the drumming's great on here. Miquette's synthesizers just, I mean, she's a very good musician, is Miquette. And she just adds it to that one. And then you've got the Yoni Poem, which is more of Gilly Smith's wonderful expression of herself. Oh, she's really good on that. I really enjoyed that. Dance with the Pixies. Very quirky vocal from Gilly on that. Excellent. And my favourite, and it still is my favourite, is the Wacky Abacky Banker. It's very quirky. The riffs are good. The little delicate guitar from both David and Steve is brilliant. Some wonderful lyrics. What a strong song. Then we get in the year 2032, which isn't that far away now. Really good track again. Solid. I love all the arrangements in this. It's a well put together track. Robo Warriors. It's a very weird thing. It's written by Gilly and Miquette, the two ladies of the band. It's very, very weird, but you can appreciate it. Guitar Zero, industrial space rock here. As I said when I reviewed it, it reminds me of Chrome, and it still does. And Steve's guitar work is brilliant, along with David. Then we get the Gree Gree Girl. A little bit disjointed on here, but this has got some flute on it, and I do believe the flute is by Didier Malherbe. So hats off for him for doing that. Really good. Wave and Particle synthesizer. Now, I didn't like this when I first heard it back in the day, about over a year ago since I've listened to this, but I really appreciate it now. I think it's because I've been listening to System 7. It's really brought Miquette's class comes into that one, and it's not too bad now. Then we get Plinky Plonk, which I just love. I didn't like it again, but now I really appreciate it because I've been listening to this style of music a bit longer now, and I really get this now. I like it how it goes into different tangents and off on different little directions, and it all comes back. Then we got Portal. This is really good. The guitar work again from Steve Hillage, absolutely brilliant. Okay, the whole album is still pretty good, and I really enjoyed listening to it this time round, I must admit, in more than I did last time. Now, last time I gave it a 6.5, but this time I'm giving it a 7 RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 3 is it was their 5th album, and it came out in 1974, and it is You. And this was, I think this was Steve's last album until that one in 2009. So playing on here is David Allen, who went under the name of Dingo Virgin. He plays gliss guitar vocals. Gilly Smith went over as Shaki Yoni, did her vocals. Didier Malherbe, Blamundo de Grasse on wind instruments and vocal. Tim Blake, or High Tea Moonweed, on the Moog synthesizer. Miquette Giraldi, who was known as Bambolino Yoni on vocals and chorusing. Steve Hillage lead guitar. Mike Howlett on bass. Pierre Milan on drums. Morelli Boha on percussion, and Benoit Malane, Pierre's brother, on percussion as well. Now this starts off with this nice little introduction called Thoughts for Naught. It's just a typical weird Gong introduction. Eerie, mystique, and very, very good. Just like the second track, which is APHP's Advice. Another short thing, but it's got some nice percussion, I think, between Pierre, Milan and Benoit. Really good. I love this. Very good percussionists, all three of them. Then we get Magic Mother Invocation. Another very short track. This has got lots of sound bites and synths. Again, I didn't like it when I first heard it, but I really sat down and listened to it under the headphones, and I thought, this is clever. And I like the synth sounds in it. It's really good. Then we get Master Builder. Now, when you've listened, if you don't listen to this under the headphones, it sounds like you've got 6 musicians playing different stuff. But when you listen to it under the headphones and really concentrate, it's wonderful how they all just sound in tune. How these people do it, I don't know. It's a really strong track. The guitar bits are really good from Steve. Then we get A Sprinkling of Clouds, which has always been one of my favourite tracks. Still is. I think the guitar work from Steve and David is just spot on again. Them two work so well together. Pierre's drumming on this is just phenomenal. And I really like that track. Probably it gets in my top 10 songs of Gong. Then we get Perfect Mystery. It's got a bit of a Celtic feel on here. And you've got that little nice proggy guitar sound from Steve. Very good track. Then we get The Isle of Everywhere. Now this is a proper mixture of Canterbury scene prog, jazz. The drumming on here from Pierre is fantastic. The guitar's great. The vocals are good. It's just an amazing track. And then the last track is You Never Blow Your Trip Forever. A little bit disjointed, but it's got some really nice keyboard tracks on it. I think this is a really good album, and again I've enjoyed this so much more than I did when I first ranked Gong. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, number 2 was the 4th album that came out in December of 1973, and it's Angel's Egg. On here we've got DDL Malherbe, Gilly Smith, Mike Howlett, Steve Hillage, Tim Blake, Pierre Milan, Morelli Bauer, and David Allen. First track on here is the brilliant The Other Side of the Sky. I love this psychedelic sound. Some lovely keyboards on here. Absolutely amazing sounds on this one. Great little track this is. Then the Soul to the Highest Buddha. The sax on this is absolutely amazing. I think the sax is played. Who plays the sax? It's Didier Malherbe, of course. Brilliant piece of work. Castle in the Clouds. Some nice guitar work here from Steve. The keyboard sequence is fantastic. Prostitute Poem. Gilly Smith at her best. A wonderful poem from Gilly. Then Giving My Love to You is a little soundbite thing. The sounds are weird. The piano's great, and it's got a lot of people in a pub. Then we get Selene. And this was appeared on another album, and it's really good track. Now I enjoy that one. Then we get Flute Salad, atmospheric. The flute's really good. It really adds to it. Well, it's called Flute Salad, so why not? Oily Way, jazz fusion going on again. These are fine musicians in this band. Absolutely killer track. Then we have this little short thing called Outer Temple, atmospheric, space rock. You've got that lovely little rhythm from David. You've got the delicate touches on the guitar from Steve, absolutely brilliant. Then we get the Inner Temple, carries on from Outer Temple, but Didier comes in with a great saxophone solo on that. Then Pierre does a little bit of drumming, which sounds wonderful. Then we got Love Is How You Make It. I love this. The glockenspiel really adds to this track in its own quirky way. I never glid before. Psychedelic. The bass line from Mike is absolutely killer. Pierre's drumming, fantastic. Great track that is. Eat That Phone Book Coda. Very busy song. Got a great bass line in it, and everyone's they're all sort of playing different sort of tones, and it all comes together really, really well. This is a really good album. I really enjoyed it the last time out, and I've been playing this album for a long time. I always like listening to this one. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking, and it's gone up. It was 7.5. It's now gone up to 8 because I really appreciate it now. But my number one album, and it's still one of my favourite Gong albums of all the Gong albums, is that third album that came out in May '73, Flying Teapot. This was of course released on the same day as Tubular Bells. It was in Virgin, so Tubular Bells is V 2001 and this is V 2002. So it's the second album that came out on Virgin. So on here is David Allen on vocals and guitar, Gilly Smith on the space whispering, Tim Blake on the synthesizers, Didier Malherbe on the saxes and flutes, Steve Hillage on the guitars, Kristen Trench on guitars, Francis Mose bass, Laurie Allen drums, Rashid Hurari on congas. Starts off with the brilliant Radio Gnome Invisible. I love this. It's a bit of Radio Gnome, which was on a previous album, but I love this. It's got everything you need in a great gong track, the great drumming, the saxophone sounds great. It's just a fantastic track. Then we get the epic Flying Teapot. Absolutely dynamite track. The drumming here from Laurie Allen is fantastic. The bass from Francis, Steve's guitar work, David's, it's just comes together. It's that sort of fusion of the jazz side from David and the Canterbury scene from Steve coming together to form a fantastic track. Then we get the Pothead Pixies. I love this track. It's a short, quirky thing. Gilly's whispering is just fantastic. I just think she was an incredible lady. Wrote some interesting stuff. Then we get another great little short track, the Octave Doctors and the Crystal Machine. It's just an eerie sort of start because it goes straight in and builds us up to the brilliant Zero the Hero and the Witch's Spell. Very contemporary jazz. I love the saxophones in this, and they works well round the guitar work. Absolutely killer track. Definitely top 10 Gong song. Witch's song I Am Your Pussy. The guitar work from Steve on this is brilliant. It's then you got the weirdness of Gilly Smith's album delivering this wonderful whispery atmospheric voice. It's my favourite song that Gilly does on this album. It's one of my favourite songs that Gilly has performed on. Right, this album is just amazing. The more I hear it, the more I love it. Since I first listened to this, I do play this a hell of a lot now. I like this mixture of jazz, prog, psychedelic, and the totally madness that was Gong, all round up into one album. The album cover is an absolute belter. So I'm now going to give this an RTO ranking, an art of 9.3. So there we go. We had a, you know, I'm glad I've done this again, because recapping on some great Gong albums that Steve Hillage was on, because I really enjoyed them more than I did the first time round. I must admit, I like them, but I love them now. So there we go. Next week we're going to have a look at his solo career, his solo albums. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. What have we got next for? Now we've got retro ranking, but it's a bit different this week because it's coming up to Christmas. I thought I would rank my favourite traditional Christmas carols and the stories behind them and what they mean to me. So I'll be doing that very soon. So bye for now.